So, welcome to the class of computer graphics and visualization. Our today's topic is two-dimensional rotation about a pivot point and two-dimensional scaling about a fixed point. So, here the objective of this particular class that we are going to discuss here is as we know that how to perform the rotation and how to perform the scaling, and another important thing is both this rotation and scaling will be always done with respect to the origin. So, our default rotation and default scaling, it will be always done with respect to origin. So, now the point comes here, if I want to perform rotation or the scaling other than this origin means or any fixed point on which I want to perform the rotation or scaling, how it will be done. Okay. So, that concept we are going to discuss today. Okay. And start with the first one, that is general two-dimensional pivot point rotation. Okay. So, here the title indicates that we are going to perform the two-dimensional rotation, and always once again just now I told that rotation will be always done with respect to the origin, but here I want to perform the rotation with respect to other than the origin. For example, say in this particular example is taken here, if you consider here. So, here is a triangle, okay, and I do not want to rotate this triangle with respect to the origin here. Okay, I want to rotate this triangle with respect to the center of this triangle. That point is called as xr comma yr. Okay. So, the problem here is we have already derived the matrix for rotation about what origin, but we do not know the matrix for rotation about what the point or that pivot point which is other than what this origin. So, that we need to derive that particular matrix today. So, that is the purpose of this particular topic here. Okay. So, for that we need to apply 3 steps here. Okay. Whenever you want to perform rotation about a pivot point, means the point which is other than origin, if you want to perform the rotation, then you have to apply, there are 3 steps. Okay. So, that steps we will see one by one along with the diagram. So, the first step what it says, just have a look at here. The first step is we need to perform the translation of the object, so that pivot point means what, the other than origin, that particular point it has to be moved to the origin, means it has to be moved in such a way that it should coincident with that origin. If you want, you can observe here what is happening. Okay. In this particular diagram is concerned. Okay. So, this is my original triangle that I want to rotate here, on which point, on a point xr comma yr here, which is other than the origin, which is a pivot point. Now, according to the step 1, what it says that we need to translate, okay, that triangle in such a way that triangle is object here. We want to translate that object in such a way that the pivot point xr comma yr is going to overlap with what, origin. Look at here how we have done the translation here. So, that is the first step. Okay. And why we are doing this? Why? Because we already know the rotation matrix for, okay, performing the rotation about origin. Okay. So, that is the reason that we are going to take this particular technique here. Okay. So, this is the first step, and what is the second step? The second step, once the object along with that pivot point is going to overlap with the origin, then I know that how to perform the rotation about what, origin, because I know the matrix. Then what I will do? I will perform the rotation of the object about what, about the coordinate origin with some angle theta, that I am going to do that. Okay. So, here also you can observe here that is happening here. So, once my object has translated and my the pivot point is overlapping with the origin, then I am going to perform what, the actual rotation. So, the rotation about what, the origin, that I am going to do with some angle theta as per the requirement. Okay. So, this is the second step. Okay. Then what is the third step here? The third step is, just have a look at here, once again you have to retranslate that particular object, so that the pivot point is returned back to its original position. Hope you are getting it. Okay. So, just have a look at here what I am doing. Once the rotation has been completed about the origin, what I will do? I will perform the retranslation of the object in such a way that the pivot point is returned back to its original position. See here. So, this is my original position, here it was that x or y r. To the same position, after performing the rotation, I am moving that object. Okay. So, what is my final effect here? The final effect is, okay, I am going to I have rotated this particular object with respect to some angle theta with respect to what? The pivot point which is other than this origin. So, that I have done here. So, just do remember these three simple steps. So, what are those steps here? So, it is very simple, move the object in such a way that, okay, the pivot point should be overlapping with the origin, then you perform your normal rotation about this origin, then you retranslate it back to its original position. So, this is my final rotated object with respect to the pivot point which is other than origin, that is it. Okay. Now, look at here how I am going to derive the matrix here. Okay. So, by keeping these three steps in my mind, the same steps have been written in terms of the matrices. See there, my first step is what? Translate the object so that the pivot point is overlapping with the origin. See here, I am going to perform some translation with translation factor x minus xr minus yr. When I am going to apply this translation, my object will come and sit on what? Sit on the position in such a way that the pivot point will overlap with what? Origin. Okay. Once it will come and sit on that origin, I know how to perform the rotation about what? Z axis. So, I will apply I will be applying what? Rotation matrix. Once I will perform the rotation, I need to move that object back to its original position. So, I am going to perform what? The retranslation with what? With same xr and yr translation factors here, so that my object will be rotated object will be moved back to the original position. Okay. So, now for all these three steps have been converted in and written in terms of what? The matrices. So, here what is happening here? Look at there. My first step translation, second step rotation, third step once again translation, means translation followed by rotation followed by once again retranslation. So, if I combine all these three matrices, if I multiply these three matrices, then I will get one resultant matrix. So, this is the resultant matrix. So, this matrix now I can say that this matrix is applicable for what? Rotation about a pivot point. So, what is pivot point here? The pivot point is nothing but other than the origin. So, from here onwards, if you want to perform the rotation about a pivot point which is other than origin, then directly you can make use of what? You can make use of this particular matrix here. Okay. So, what is this? So, this is the resultant matrix. This matrix you can use it. Now, this matrix is applicable for what? Rotation of any object on the pivot point which is other than the origin. See, now if I want to perform the rotation of this particular triangle about what? The center of this point here, then every vertex of this particular object is to be multiplied with this matrix. Then automatically I will get what? A rotated triangle about what? About an pivot point. Okay. So, if this is x 1 y 1, okay, this is x 2 y 2, this is x 3 y 3, then x 1 y 1 will be multiplied with this one, x 2 y 2 will be multiplied with this matrix, x 3 y 3 will be multiplied with this matrix. Then automatically I will get what? A new rotated object that I am going to get it. Okay. The same thing has been written in terms of the notations over here. You can observe here. First, I am going to perform the translation in such a way that it should the pivot point should overlap with the origin. Then I am going to perform the normal rotation about z axis. Then once again I will retranslate it. And also you can observe the very important aspect here, the order of the matrix multiplication here. Okay. That is very important here. See there. So, my first step is what? Translation of the object in such a way that the pivot point should overlap with what? Origin. So, look at there. I am going to write that matrix at the rightmost, always in OpenGL. Okay. The matrix multiplication will be always considered from right to the left. So, in this order. Okay. Do not write this matrix here and this matrix here. Okay. The effect will be always different. Why? Because do remember m cross n is not equal to n cross m in matrix multiplication, always it is not commutative. Okay. So, that is why always try to maintain the proper order here. Okay. So, here the first step translation, that will be written first here, then second step rotation, that will be written here, then third step retranslation, that will be written last. So, in this order only it will be get multiplied, clear. Okay. So, we will move on to the next one. The same steps will be applicable for scaling. Okay. So, once again, whenever you want to perform scaling about a fixed point means other than the origin, always do remember scaling is also always done with respect to what? Origin, this is default. But when I want to perform the scaling other than origin, means any fixed point, same 3 steps I am going to perform. First one, what is that? Translate the object so that the fixed point will coincide with what? The origin. See here. So, this is my original triangle, I want to perform the scaling. Now, I am going to perform the scaling not with respect to origin, I want to perform rotation with respect to what? A fixed point. What is the fixed point? Xf comma Yf, let it be. Now, what is my first step says? You have to translate in such a way that fixed point will come and overlap with what? Origin. See here, this is my first step. Okay. Then once it comes with the origin, then I know that how to perform the scaling. Either I can increase the size or decrease the size. So, that I will do that, it depends on the scaling factors Sx and Sy. Now, I am going to perform a scaling here. So, in this case I have reduced the size of the object. Once the scaling has been done, what is the third step? See there, once again you have to use the inverse translation or retranslation, and so that the object will be moved back to what? Its original position. See, this is its original position. The same position with Xf Yf, it will be get retranslated, or we will be applying the inverse translation. So, it is very similar to the rotation. The only thing is, in place of rotation we are performing what? Scaling here. Do not get confused. Just have a look at the matrices over here. Okay. So, this is my first step. Okay. This matrix translate the object in such a way that this particular Xf and Yf should comes and overlap with origin, the first translation, followed by what? My normal scaling with respect to what? Origin with Sx and Sy. Either you increase the size or decrease the size. After completion of the scaling, you should move back that object to its original position, that is what? Retranslation, that will be done. So, when you multiply all these 3 matrices, I am going to get a resultant matrix. This matrix is always used for what? Scaling about a fixed point. Now, directly you can use this matrix whenever you want to perform scaling about what? A fixed point which is other than the origin. The same notation that we have written in terms of this particular format over here, where T of Xf and Yf indicates what? The translation matrix 3 cross 3, and S of Sx Sy 3 cross 3 scaling matrix, then once again translation T of Xf Yf retranslation matrix. So, this is, and look at the order also, just now I have already told how to write it from right to left. Okay. So, this is what you call scaling about what? About a fixed point which is other than the origin. Okay. Just to remember those 3 steps, they are very important. Okay. And now, the last topic here is performing the scaling with different directions, because see there, normally we know that scaling will be always done with respect to the x direction and with respect to what? Y direction, Sx and Sy. But in this case, for example, say now I want to perform the scaling with respect to other than x and y direction. Imagine that here there are 2 directions, S1 and what? S2. On these 2 directions I want to perform what? Scale the object. Scale the object means either increase the size of the object or decrease the size of the object. Then what steps that we need to do? Just have a look at here. My first step is what? Perform a rotation so that the direction for S1 and S2 will coincident with what? The x and y here. Okay. So, I have to, so just have a look at here, in this particular diagram is concerned. So, here, okay, what I am going to do? I have to perform a rotation with angle theta in such a way that this S1 should overlap with x and this S2 should overlap with what? Y. Once this S1 direction and S2 direction will overlap with x and y, we know that how to perform the scaling with respect to x direction and what? Y direction. Look at here, that way I am going to do. So, scaling the transformation with respect to what? S1 and S2, which is already overlapped with what? X and y, that will be applied. So, once the scaling has been finished, then once again you have to perform the opposite rotation, means inverse rotation, so that the direction S1 and S2 will be what? Moved back to the original position. Okay. So, in the third step what I am going to do here, okay. So, here what I will be doing. So, once again after scaling is done, okay. So, once again I have to perform the inverse rotation, so that my S1 will come back to this position and S2 will this S1 will come back to this position, S2 will come back to what this position. Like that I have to perform what the inverse rotation. Okay. So, just have a look at here now what is my resultant matrix that I am going to get over here. Okay. So, just this is the order of the matrices. The three things I am going to do. First I am going to perform the rotation, so that my S1 will overlap with X, S2 will overlap with what Y. So, that I am doing with what this rotation, or in this place just imagine that you are writing 3 cross 3 rotation matrix. Okay. Then after that I know that how to perform the scaling about x axis and in x direction and y direction. Okay. That I will do the scaling. After completion of scaling, once again I have to perform what inverse translation in such a way that my S1 S2 direction will put back to the original direction. So, that is why another 3 cross 3 rotation. When I will multiply all these 3 rotation followed by scaling followed by rotation. So, this is my resultant matrix. It is very important, and I hope that all of you are familiar with the rotation multiplication. Please take a paper and pen, you do that practically and you check it out, okay, whether you are going to get this is the final resultant matrix. So, this matrix can be applied whenever you want to perform the scaling other than the actual x direction and y direction, means like just like this S1 and S2, which is other than what my actual x axis direction and y axis direction. Okay. So, just once again the 3 steps are what? First I have to perform the rotation in such a way that my this direction of S1 and S2 will overlap with x and y. Then I am going to perform the scaling, then once again I am to perform the inverse rotation. Is it clear? And I hope that it is a very simple topic. All of you might have remembered these steps, and also multiply the corresponding matrices, then you will get always this resultant matrix. That you do it individually, you take paper and pen, you check it out by multiplying all those matrices. Okay. Thank you.